Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shalandi, and I wanted to spend some time with you guys before we close out the new year. So we are a few days from Christmas, and I went to a Christmas festival today, and I thought this would be like the perfect opportunity with my face all made up to talk to you guys about the good news, the gospel, and to also just like update you guys on like what I've been doing. And at the same time, you cannot talk about the gospel without sharing like your testimony and talking about like how you got there. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today in this video, and then also like upload some clips of things that I forgot to insert into the last video, unfortunately. But we're here. And so first of all, I want to say Merry Christmas to you guys. And let's talk about the gospel. So if you didn't know already, the gospel means good news. Like gospel literally means good news. And so what is the good news? The good news is that Jesus is the Son of God, and he died on the cross for our sins, and he rose 3 days later. Okay, and if you believe in him, and if you trust in what he did on the cross for you, for me, for all of us, then you will be saved. I will be saved. We all will be saved, okay? And it's the biggest, greatest love story of all time. If you don't believe that, I would like you to just take a second and just to listen to everything that I have to say, because if you don't believe, at one point in time, I was just like you. And, you know, I had people around me who, they were like true Bible believing Christians. You know, just because someone's a Christian, it doesn't really mean that they believe or they have that relationship with God, which is honestly the most important thing ever, is the relationship that you have with him. But I was around like real like fire breathing Christians, and you know, it's great to see, and it's great to have that like in your like library of thoughts and memories to reference on like once you become saved. But you really, in my opinion, you may need to have your own experience with God before you truly believe. And when I say God, I mean Jesus. Okay? I had people ministering to me, and thank God for them, because they really just were great examples of what it means and what it looks like to be a Christian. So thank God for that. Like, they weren't extreme or anything. They were just like on fire. They were positive, like happy, beautiful people. And so I had that for an example. And I also had other people in different denominations, and I wasn't really like vibing with them, or like vibing with how they believed, or the energy, I guess, that they were giving off. And so I knew of God. I knew about Jesus. I didn't understand the blood. I didn't know what that meant. And it seems so simple to people that get it, but if you don't get it, it could be like a hard concept to grasp. So I think if you need help with that, definitely check out The Passion of the Christ, because it's a really great movie. And it'll just help you get like a better grasp of what his sacrifice like really, really meant. And yeah, it's just a great movie to help you get started, right? So how did I become saved? And you might hear me whisper. You might hear me like get a little quiet, because it was just such, my experience with God was such a holy, beautiful experience and special to me. But like, I wanted to share it with all of you, because in tandem with sharing the gospel, most people share their testimony as well. And so I want to share my testimony with you guys. So how did it really start? Like, besides the people that were ministering to me, luckily for me, my grandmother, she was already like Baptist. And so when I was very, very young, she would take me to church with her. So, you know, I've got to see other people experiencing the Holy Spirit, and just having a figure in my life that where church was like important. Like I think for the most part, she went like every Sunday, and that was very important to her. Tithing was very important to her. So like I had a point of reference, like I had a model in my life. So when people would ask me, "Hey, like, are you like religious?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm a Christian." Or in my new age period, I would say, "Yeah, I'm like a spiritual Christian, whatever that means." And so, spiritual Christian, in my opinion, just means lukewarm because it's very, wishy-washy, mix match, confusion going on. So anyway, I had that as a reference. But I think the tipping point in my life was when I started to pray earnestly on behalf of someone else. And it wasn't, and I didn't really know how to pray. I was praying like my whole life, and I never really felt like my prayers like were really being answered. I always felt like God had my back, and I always felt like God was keeping. And when I say God, I'm pretty sure in my heart, I already knew it was Jesus. But yeah, I always felt like someone was watching my back, taking care of me, keeping me safe. Like my intuition for the most part was like on point, and so yeah, I felt good in that regard. So I began to pray like really earnestly, and to be honest, I wasn't really sure what to pray about, but I just prayed the Lord's prayer, and I just felt in my heart like God would know what and why for who I was praying for. So I just like had faith in that aspect that God is all knowing, so He knows. He knows. So let me start here. I know I'm coming to God like kind of out of nowhere. And so, sorry guys, I had to stop for a second. So yeah, like in my heart, I knew like listen, when you are addressing God and you're asking him for something, like I swear to you, like in your heart and in your core, he's like royalty, and you have to address him a certain way. And when you're like MIA, missing in action, not really praying, not praying specifically to God, you kind of know you have to humble yourself, and you can't just go in hot asking for things that you want. So, when I started to pray on behalf of this person, it wasn't a specific prayer. It wasn't like, hey, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. It was okay. God knows what I need. He knows. He knows that I need direction. He knows in which way to direct me. So let me just be humble and ask for his will to be done in my life and also in the world, like in general. Like, God, whatever you want, I'm going to be like that vessel. And I'm going to come into agreement with what you want, So I prayed the Lord's Prayer every day. I'm pretty sure for like over a month, and I just prayed that earnestly, and I had like a very had a routine. So I would pray. At the time where I lived, I would walk to work, and so when I would walk to work, it would take me like 30 minutes to walk to work. So I would like pray the Lord's Prayer the whole 30 minutes. I wouldn't think about nothing else. It was just pure meditation on the Lord's word. On the Lord's Prayer. And I would just pray that crossing the street, and it's just me praying. I'll have my headphones maybe sometimes, but that was all I prayed. And when I got off of work, I would walk back home, and I would just keep praying that prayer. So that's an hour a day, every single day for like over 30 days. Me praying the Lord's Prayer, not thinking of anything else, not thinking of my surroundings, not thinking of anyone else around me, just like pure focus. And I was just focused on God's will and what He wanted in my life. And I swear to you, one day I went to bed. It was a normal day, normal night, and I went to bed and I had an encounter with God, with Jesus, and it forever changed my life. And I did have a dream, and the dream was so vivid, and I felt emotions in my soul that I never felt before in this life ever. And I haven't had another dream like that since. So I've had some dreams where I felt like God was like behind it, and like he's trying to tell me something. He wants to communicate with me. So I'll feel like maybe it's a God inspired dream. But in this dream, it was a pure encounter. Like I knew where I came from. I knew where I came from. So when I had that dream, and I won't tell you about the dream because it's like very personal, but when I had that dream and I woke up, I was like, no one can tell me God is not real. No one can tell me that it's not Jesus. And I knew it was Jesus. Like in the dream, I saw him, and he was just this giant light figure in my dream, and I just knew who he was. I just knew it was Jesus. I didn't have to say his name. I just knew it was him. That's it. Point blank. Period. You know how you just know things in a dream? I didn't have to ask. I didn't have to wonder. I knew right away, and I knew he was my source, and I knew he was where I came from, and I know he wanted the best for me, and that he loved me, and that he was my father. Period. Like I knew, and I didn't just know. I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back to where he was. I wanted to be with my father. I didn't want to be here anymore. In my dream, I was like, what the hell? Like, I'm like, that's where I belong. I belong with him. And it was like a moth to a flame. Like, I can understand how moths they'll keep just flying to the light. Now, mind you, we won't go into what happens to moths when they fly to the light. But I was just so in my dream. It wasn't even a trance. It was like where you feel a part of yourself is over there with Jesus. Like to be whole, to be 100%, that's where you need to be. That's where you belong. That's where you come from. That's who you are. So that's how I felt. I felt completely whole. And and at that point in my dream, like the only thing that mattered was Jesus. That's it. He's the only thing that mattered to me in that dream, period. Like, I could have spent forever just worshiping him because it was just timeless. It was such a beautiful dream. It was such a beautiful experience. And so that was my encounter with God. It's a very, I'd say prophetic. Yeah, it was like, even the dream was also prophetic. And it just, that day just really honestly changed my life. And I just remember waking up from the dream and just going, like, thank God I had a Bible. I had bought a Bible, and I was just flipping through the Bible, just trying to understand like some of the symbolisms that I had in the dream, some of the numbers that I saw in the dream. And like I said, forever change. You cannot tell me nothing. You cannot tell me Jesus doesn't exist. Whatever you think, it doesn't matter. And so my hope to you, and what I have said in like another video, is that my job is not to convince you, because no one could convince me. Like, I was ministered to. I had people that I really liked and looked up to ministering to me, but for me, I needed to have that experience. But I didn't just say, oh hey, I need to have that experience for me to believe in God. I actually humbled myself, and luckily my life situation was the way it was, where like I really like had to pray. And so thank God even for that, because even that experience like changed my life. It made me run and go to God for answers. And he answered me. Even in the dream, he answered me. And so just my hope for you is to pray, is to trust God. If you're not sure where to start, if you just need more evidence, if you want to have your own experience with God, pray. You can pray the Lord's Prayer. You can maybe even reading the Bible will get you to that point. If you're someone who if you have to have an experience with God, I would just say maybe start there, like praying the Lord's Prayer, making a meditation, devote some time to that, because that is worship. And don't ask God for anything. Don't ask him. Just pray to him and pray that his will be done. And I would hope it worked for me. Maybe it can work for you, or maybe God will lead you to like a method, that he would want to use to reveal himself to you. But you have to start somewhere, and you have to have that desire. So that's one thing I did have, is desire. And luckily for me, I had Christianity as my foundation. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. My life has done a complete 180, and like I said, I'm someone who, maybe on the outside to
So
other
I'm
people, it
editing the
doesn't look
video
like
and I
I've changed
realized I did
much,
not
but
include
so
any
much work
footage
has
of
been
when I
done
went to see the Nutcracker at the
internally.
Orpheum Theater. So I
So
just wanted
much
to show
like
you guys the theater and share
deep
some
work,
clips with you guys.
and maybe
God
no
made it
one
happen. I
would
was
believe
fortunate
like
enough to
add a
sit
radical
next to
change.
a
In my
young
opinion,
lady
I've had like
who
a
had the
radical
same thought
change,
as me
but
of
maybe
seeing
someone
the
else,
Nutcracker
won't
every
think
year
so
and just
because
making
they
it
just
a
see,
tradition. So we just
the
so
facade,
happened to be sitting next to each other.
my
And then
outside.
she invited me
Not
to
to
the
say I'm fake or
Roosevelt
anything. I'm just saying
Hotel
my
to take
facade,
photos in the
and they'll
lobby.
just assume
It
like,
was
yeah,
very
she's just always
nicely
been a good person.
decorated,
But
very festive.
um,
And then afterwards,
God has
we
been like
went
doing some
to
deep
the
like
bar and we got
root
a
work
sugar cookie
in me,
martini, and
and
it was
just
so
has
good.
as just
And
like
it
so
was
many
just
things
nice,
have been
chit
revealed
chatting with
in His
someone
perfect
because,
timing,
what turned out to be like a
and
solo date,
it just
I ended
it
up
takes a lot of surrendering,
potentially
guys. It
making a
takes a
friend,
lot
which
of
is really, really
surrendering,
cool.
but
Yeah, so guys, do not be afraid to do things
that's
on
my
your
good news.
own.
Part of the good news
Don't
is
be afraid to
telling
say
people
hello,
what
and start small
good God
talk because
has
you
done for
never
you.
know where it
Yeah,
may
I would just
lead
say
you.
just be
And now
curious
with the
and
rest of
ask
the video.
other people about their experience. If you're not someone that's saved and you watch my channel and you're interested, or if you feel empty, if you feel like your life is like missing meaning, just pray. And because God created all of us with a purpose, He loves all of us. Our identity is with Him. So if that's something you have a problem with, is like who you are. God will tell you who you are, um, and He'll reveal the gifts that He gave you. He'll reveal them to you. I used to think that I wasn't really gifted in anything, and I'm plenty gifted, plenty. Okay, but um, yeah. Sometimes you think you're being humble, and you're not really being humble. Just being. Sometimes God will have to work on you about like you having this like fake sense of humility. So there's a lot of things that people can work on. So nobody's perfect. I hope you guys found that interesting. I want to keep it short because I really believe in my core and my heart that you have to pray and you have to build that relationship with God. And God is not a genie. You just don't ask for something and He just delivers it. That's not how you would treat your friends. That's not how you would treat your family. That's not how you would treat someone that you care about. You have to actually build a relationship. And part of that is just, sharing your deepest, darkest fears, sharing your vulnerabilities, sharing, reading the Bible, worshiping, singing, reading His Word, soaking in His Word, gospel music, volunteering. Like there's so many ways you can do it. You can go about it, and so there are ways. Okay. So, a lot has happened, guys, this week. So, you guys see the face painting? Very cute. So I went to the NOLA Christmas Festival today with my friend, and we had a great time. I'm gonna be inserting clips throughout this whole thing. Um, I went on like the swing ride. So it was inside a convention center, and they had like different rides. They had ice skating. They had like the donut when you slide down the hills. I don't know why I can't think of the name right now. Guys, it's almost 12 o'clock. But They had like the little donut things and you slide down the hill. So I have that. I think that was like my favorite part. And then they had this really, and my friend took a video for me, thank God. And they had this really crazy ride that you, it was fun. The rides were short, um, but they were powerful. I will say that. So there's this one ride that I'll show you guys right now, and it has like different like sections of like, I don't know, like four seats, and like it just spins and it goes like it spins, and then the outer part spins, and it's just like a lot of spinning going on in G-force, and I loved it. Okay, I'm like intermediate level adrenaline junkie, like not too crazy. Like I wouldn't go skydiving or anything like that, but I had a really great time. The swinging set was fun. They had like the pirate ship that like rocks like that. They had that, and we went on that. And my friend does not like rides, guys. She does not like rides, but I made her get on that one. And she was like holding on to the ride for like dear life, and she just like stopped moving, and she was like, okay, no. And then what else? And yeah, ice skating, and we just like took pictures and just like enjoyed the Christmas spirit and the Christmas festivities, and we took some pictures, and so that was a lot of fun. So we did that, and then yeah, afterward we hung out a little bit and just chit chatted, and yeah, I had my holiday party last weekend, and unfortunately I don't have any photos of that because sabotage. I would just say it's probably not, but the pictures that I had did not turn out good. So I'm not gonna show you guys that. But my outfit like was super cute. You know, it was like the plaid outfit, the print with like the little Christmas kind of like style flowers like in the center of the boxes. Super cute. I had to like on my cute uh Christmas tree barrette. Adorable. I got so many compliments that night on my outfit. And so I had a really fun time. I invited my friend, and he came with me, and he was like a hit at the party. Listen, he's a whole vibe. I would just say that. Like I was like, hey, listen, you're gonna come with me, but like, I want you to mingle, meet people, do your thing. And he was doing his thing, and he had a great time. So I'm happy that he came. Yeah, I want to show you guys my Christmas lights because the last video I meant to edit it into the video, and I totally forgot. So I want to show you guys the Christmas lights from the outside. So you guys will see that, and then you guys will also see the door. And I have these lights on a timer, and so they're on, I think, 8 hours a day, and then they shut off, and then they turn on for another 8 hours. Love it. Love it. Right? Is it 6 hours or 8 hours? Maybe 6 hours. Oh, guys, listen. So I think I might have forgot to put in the last video, but I put these Christmas sheets on my bed. Just wanted to give you a quick like holiday decor update. So I'm gonna change the sheets soon. I'm gonna actually wash the sheet set that I got. So I wanted to show you guys the sheets. So here they are. They are by Cupcakes and Cashmere, and I bought this from TJ Maxx. I'm so stubborn. I refuse to take them off my bed, and they're like the most uncomfortable sheets I've ever purchased. I think I just have to stick with like fleece sheets. Guys, never again. Never again. Listen, thread count. I'm sorry. Thread count is super important. I'm like Princess and the Pea and Cinderella. I can't do it. The first week of sleeping with those sheets, it was just like a disaster. I was feeling too hot, and then I was feeling too cold. And then every time I move, I can hear the sheets moving. It was like waking me up out of my sleep. And I was like, absolutely not. So you guys see it. I have the same sheets, right? I wash them every week. I'm a creature of habit. Those are my favorite sheets. I sleep well with them. They make me feel nice and warm. They make me feel good and comfortable. And I have to just stick with that. I have to stick with that. Like, I try to change things up, but I honestly don't think I can. Like, I just don't want to do it. So, anyway, on December 25th, those sheets I'm ripping them joints off of my bed. I still have them on my bed for the aesthetic, but absolutely not. Never again. And I think those sheets are microfiber. Never again. Never again will I buy I think it's microfiber. Never, never. I'm gonna post the material in the description so you never buy that material ever in your life. This Christmas tree, I love it, but I can only deal with this color combo because I prefer warm Christmas lights, but when I press the button from the warm Christmas lights, the Christmas lights look orange. So we're just gonna do what we have to do with this and just stay positive. But I love this Christmas tree. I put ribbons on it. If you guys can see, you guys can probably see like the ribbons like dangling on it. Super cute. Yeah. Did my present shopping. Everyone got gifts. I probably spent like less than like $300 for 6-7 people. So that is a win. That is a win. And the best part is that everyone got what they wanted for the most part. So I'm very proud of myself. Alright guys, so I'm gonna let you guys go because it's very, very late, and I appreciate you guys watching this video to the end. If you're still here, very much appreciated. And yeah, I just hope you guys take what I had to say about the gospel seriously. I hope what I did share in regards to my testimony maybe inspired you to pray a little bit more and just to reach out to God and really have that relationship, because it's so important. It's really the foundation. Like, once you read the Bible and you ask for guidance and help, you know, the Holy Spirit is going to guide you, and he'll be your bedrock, you know, and you'll have a great solid foundation to stand on, and God will never abandon you. He's never abandoned me. He's always taken care of me. Always. Like, even when I thought like the world was gonna end, he's just always there, like holding me down, always. And so I have a very great relationship with God, and I would hope that you guys have that too, because if you have that, you can overcome anything in this world. You'll go through what you have to go through, but somehow you'll have like this inner strength, this backbone that is just like, you know, you're gonna keep moving forward. You know, maybe this is a season of rest. Maybe this is a season of action. Maybe this is a season of release. Maybe this is a season of removal. But what I've learned is that there's definitely a season for everything, and not everything that you want to happen will always happen at exactly the same time or exactly the right moment or when you want it to happen. Things definitely happen on God's time, and then as things happen and as things progress, you're able to like look back and see, oh wow, God was really in that. Like, he saved my life, or God was looking out for me, or, you know, I didn't take that step and I took this step instead, and, you know, it was like a divine intervention, or it was just like divine inspiration, you know, that something ended up going the way it was supposed to, you know. So it's very exciting. Walking with God is very, very exciting. It's a great journey. And yeah, I hope you guys jump on the train before it's too late. I will just say that and just keep it very simple. And I love you guys so much. Like, I love you so much. I know I say that in like most of my videos, but the reason I love you the way I do is because God loves you. And yeah, trust me, if he wants me, sometimes he wants me to share some things, and I'm still working on like discernment and knowing when is the right time to say certain things. And so, you know, he definitely wants you to know that you are loved and that he loves you and that he's always speaking to you. You just have to be tuned in on the right frequency. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the new year. I think 2026 is going to be a wonderful year. It's going to be a great year, and I'm excited for it. I never say this year is going to be my year, but I feel like next year, if it's not my year, it's going to be like a year of blessings. I really feel that way. I think next year is going to be very interesting. And yeah, I look forward to see you guys in the next year. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go now, but I love you guys so, 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 so much. And yeah, I share the greatest gift of all, the gospel. That's the greatest gift of all. You don't need anything under your Christmas tree. You just need the gospel. Okay?